Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars: The Old Republic. Ossus is a beautiful planet that was ravaged by the Sith hundreds of years ago. On the planet's surface lies the ruins of the Great Jedi Library, which still holds untold secrets placed there by the great Jedi Masters of the past. In this video, we'll be going over how to unveil the secrets of Jedi Master Ood Bnar on Ossus, as well as how to find and unlock the green Ossus Endurance Datacron. This is probably the most difficult Datacron hunt and jumping puzzle available in the game, but at the end, not only are you rewarded with +2 endurance for all of your characters on your server, you'll also be granted Ood Bnar's weapon tuning, a special item that can be placed on a lightsaber or blaster that gives your weapon the appearance of growing wooden vines. You can only obtain this Datacron if you have finished the main Ossus storyline at level 70, otherwise you'll be blocked from even entering the first hidden area. If you'd rather discover these secrets on your own, here are my spoiler-free tips to get you started on the hunt. The starting area of the trail is on the Ancient Ruins map, which is the Dead Forest quick travel point. The secret you're looking for will be located on the right-hand side of the map. Once you've found it, that hidden area will instruct you to find 5 hidden clues in a specific order. They are hidden around the map. None of them are hidden in the starting area of Ossus. If you want to remain completely spoiler-free, this is where you want to stop listening, but if you just want to know which maps the clues are located on, here's the list coming up in a few seconds. Let's jump into the full guide now. As mentioned, the treasure trail starts on the Ancient Ruins map, which is the Dead Forest quick travel point. I think you technically don't need to go here first, but it's very cool, so I highly recommend it. It's located along the right-hand side of the map. Go enjoy the view for a few seconds, then turn to the left to see a green entrance. This secret grove is the resting place of Jedi Master Ood Bnar. After the attack on Ossus hundreds of years ago, 2 Dark Lords returned to the planet to steal the remainder of the priceless information and artifacts housed there. Their trip, however, was not as simple as they had first planned, as the shape-shifting Jedi Master Ood Bnar blocked their path as they were trying to steal lightsabers from the temple, by transforming into a tree and concealing the sabers within its structure. Although it's unknown who left the clues in his sanctuary, near the tree you will see 5 glowing runes. You will need to find and click these runes in order, which are hidden across Ossus. The first rune is on the same map as Ood Bnar's sanctuary, and it's located along the southern edge of the map, near the entrance to the cave. You'll need to jump along the rocks on the left-hand side of the cave entrance. The jumping puzzle is a bit annoying, but not difficult. This second rune is located near the waterfalls of the Ossus Canyon map, which is the Catacombs quick travel point. In the middle of the lowest waterfall, there is a tiny ledge you can drop down to that creates a small space behind the water, where the rune is hidden. The third rune is located on the farms map, near the northern edge of the map, in a tiny hidden cave in the mountains near the water on the left of the map. The fourth rune is located inside the Jedi Temple. In the second room past the entrance, there's a secret area you can access by jumping on some pottery, which brings you off the map. The final rune is back where you started, on the Ancient Ruins map, which is the Dead Forest quick travel point. You can find it along the northwest edge of the map on the mountainside. Once you've found and clicked all the runes in the correct order, you can head back to Ood Bnar's resting place and you'll see a glowing yellow circle above the runes. If the yellow circle isn't there, you'll need to go back and re-click the runes in the order of blue, yellow, white, red, green. Make sure not to double-click any of the runes. You will have to restart from the beginning if you do so. If you do see that yellow glowing circle above the runes, it means you're ready for the next step. If you've already explored Ossus a bit, the background of the runes will give you a clue of where to go next. The smaller runes engraved on the wall are similar to an area in the ruins of the Great Jedi Library. Next, you'll quick travel to the Jedi Temple ruins and enter the temple. There should now be a special new green phase a few rooms into the temple on the left, with a yellow circle glowing above its entrance. If you've been in this area before, you may recognize it, but if you've completed the special rune hunt, you will follow the doors sliding open until you see another yellow circle. This circle is a clue that you need to go back a bit and jump on the ledge and fall into the secret dark area below the yellow circle. This is the jumping puzzle. It's quite difficult, not only because of the darkness, but also because the designer clearly enjoyed tricking the player as they jump. There are 3 phases of this jumping puzzle. Once you get to the second or third, you won't need to start at the beginning again, which is nice. In general, just follow the glowing blue mushrooms. As soon as you jump in the hole below the yellow circle, it looks like there's a large chasm you'll fall down. Don't worry, it's just dark. Walk forward to the mushrooms and you'll receive a droid that gives you some light. Okay, I'm going to turn up the brightness in this video so you can see a bit better. In the cave, it's quite dark, and a lot of the time you'll barely be able to see the ledges you need to jump onto. The first phase of the jumping puzzle isn't too bad. There are no real tricks. Find a small rock ledge with mushrooms on it and start jumping up along the walls. You'll need to jump across the hallway multiple times, jumping from one wall to the other side. You'll know you've reached the second phase when you find a long, uninterrupted walkway with nowhere to fall. Just go back to the beginning of that walkway, make sure not to fall off the edge, and there will be some blue mushrooms near the floor which will tell you where to start. You'll eventually come to another set of pointed rock ledges facing each other from the opposite sides of the hallway. This is actually a trick, since in the previous phase you were meant to actually jump across those, but in this phase, if you follow the obvious path by jumping to the other side of the walkway, you'll get trapped. Instead, where the pointed ledges, jump along the wall to the left. You'll know you've reached the third phase when, once again, you reach another safe space to walk around. This area is a large cavern. This time the mushrooms are liars and don't tell you where to start. The jumping puzzle starts on the left-hand side from where you enter. Look for a ramp made of rock leading upwards. Eventually you'll come across a choice to jump across, forward, or to the right. The forward path leads nowhere, so instead go to the right across the walkway. A few jumps later, it looks like you'll need to jump on a small platform stalagmite. If you're having trouble with that jump, don't worry, you can actually jump straight to the glowing blue mushrooms a little bit ahead and skip the stalagmite completely. Immediately after that, you need to jump upwards along the wall, but it's tricky. The only way I could get up was on a tiny notch on the far right hand side when facing the wall. Congratulations, you made it through the dark jumping puzzle. You'll now be in the upper area of the Jedi Library runes. Find and click the large blue switch. Your reward for completing the dark jumping puzzle is another jumping puzzle. You'll now need to jump across the missing gaps in the floor. If you fall inside the gaps, you will be teleported back to where you ended the jumping puzzle originally. Very important though, if you fall, heal up. As far as we could tell, you could die of fall damage before you got teleported if you fell twice in a row, and if that happened, you'd be sent to the med center outside the temple and have to start completely over at the beginning of the mushroom jumping puzzle. If you fall outside the gaps into the large open area of the ruins, you will also not be teleported and will have to start completely over at the mushrooms. In the first section of jumping over the gaps, it's pretty easy, just go carefully and look around for the shortest gap to cross. In the second section, the gaps are huge and I don't think you can get across the large gaps on the right. You can very carefully jump on and around the pillars on the left and walk on the thin ledges. Just remember, if you fall on the left side into the large open space of the ruins, you will not be teleported and instead will need to restart from the beginning. The third section, which seems to just be a jump over gaps where you can press the second switch, is next. At this point, all the gaps will become holographically filled in, and you can walk on them. It looks very cool, and you'll be able to click the Datacron. It's a bit anticlimactic once you do, but that's because you need to bring the Datacron back to Ood Bnar's sanctuary, where you started the Datacron hunt. Once there, right-click the Datacron stand, and you'll receive the Datacron's boost and Ood Bnar's weapon tuning. The tuning item itself is actually quite special. It's a bind on equip item, which means you can send it to another character or sell it on the GTN. You can obtain the weapon tuning once per character by repeating the entire puzzle. So if you dual wield lightsabers and want them to match, you'll need to repeat the puzzle on a different character that has finished the Ossus storyline, or buy it on the GTN from another player. If jumping puzzles are fun for you, you could also complete this puzzle multiple times to make some credits on the GTN by selling the weapon tuning to other players once you complete on each of your characters. If you've managed to complete Ood Bnar's Datacron hunt, give yourself a pat on the back as you've completed one of the most difficult jumping puzzles in the game. Congratulations! If you want to show your support for this series, or want to have a similar video show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you.